Like millions before him, Prince Harry has packed his bags and made his way across the pond to chase the American dream. And just like any other new arrival, the Duke of Sussex has a long checklist to go through as he settles into his new life in Los Angeles. From obtaining a social security number to taking his test for a California driver's license, the whole process will take place against the backdrop of the coronavirus shutdown. Here DailyMail.com breaks down the hoops Harry, 35, will be jumping through as a fresh-off-the-boat Englishman in L.A. Social Security. As a former member of the British Army who saw combat in Afghanistan, Harry has witnessed his fair share of hectic scenes. But perhaps none as chaotic as that which awaits him at one of the United States Social Security Administration offices. Although this will have to be his first point of call if he plans to work and set up a bank account, the offices have been closed since March 17 due to the coronavirus crisis. When they reopen, the Duke will need to attend in person to obtain his Social Security number. However, several offices in the LA area are used to dealing with celebrities and are believed to attend to their needs in a separate room. It will save the royal from having to wait side by side with citizens who are dealing with their benefits in what is often a highly charged atmosphere. Obtaining a Social Security number usually takes around a morning of filling out paperwork. The card is later sent to the applicant's new address. Philip Moeller, an expert on Social Security, wrote of the chaos at its offices. The agency invites people to make in-person appointments, but this word doesn't always make it out to the actual field offices where such meetings are supposed to take place. People tell us some offices refuse to even schedule meetings, while the waiting list at others can be several weeks long. Visa. Harry has a number of options open to him when it comes to obtaining a visa so that he can legally work in the U.S. The Duke is currently believed to be on either a regular B1/B2 tourist visa or possibly an A1 diplomatic visa. Neither would allow him to work except in a diplomatic capacity on the A1 visa. He could also try for an extraordinary alien visa or O1, often obtained by top athletes and movie stars who bring outstanding skills to the U.S. economy. Harry could try to point to extraordinary accomplishments in philanthropy, although if he does obtain an O1 visa he would have to renew it periodically. Sources told The Times last month that he has no immediate plans to become a permanent resident on a green card. But as the husband of American citizen Meghan and the father of their dual national American-British son Archie, he could choose to apply for one. That would probably involve Meghan sponsoring him and can take up to 2 years, a heavy amount of paperwork, expensive legal fees, at least one interview and a wait of several months minimum. It is by no means a foregone conclusion after President Trump made it harder than ever for spouses of Americans to get a green card. And that was when things were running as normal and hadn't been impacted by a worldwide pandemic that has brought the bureaucracy to a grinding halt in many places. There is usually a fast-track service called premium processing which allows the applicant to skip the line for a fee of $1,440. That service was suspended temporarily in March due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Once things have gone back to normal, Harry could also be sponsored for a green card by his and Meghan's new charity venture Archie will. After 3 years on a green card he may apply to become an American citizen, although that would involve renouncing his royal title. California driver's license. On the few occasions Harry and Meghan have been spotted since moving to LA in March, the couple appear to have been driving themselves. The Duke and Duchess were spotted in a Porsche SUV as they took their dogs for a hike and a Cadillac XT5 as they made deliveries for a charity that helps the needy. Drivers moving to California to become residents have 10 days to apply for a license at the Department of Motor Vehicles. DMV offices have closed in California during the coronavirus lockdown and have not been processing new licenses. When they get back to business, Harry will need to attend the nearest one with his documentation, pay a $37 application fee, give a fingerprint scan, pass a vision exam and have his photograph taken. He would then have 3 changes to pass a 36-question knowledge test about California roadside rules and regulations. Depending how busy the office is, the process can take the best part of a day to complete. Applicants then have to schedule and pass a behind-the-wheel driving test which lasts around 20 minutes. Once that is all sorted, Harry will also have to get used to driving in Los Angeles, which is an experience in itself. Not only will he be driving on the opposite side to the road, he will need to learn to live with LA drivers who do not indicate when they change lane, generally consider speeding acceptable, are recklessly dangerous in rainy conditions and lack any semblance of driving etiquette. Taxes. When Harry and Meghan left their luxury bolt hole in Canada and moved into an $18 million Beverly Hills mansion in March, it was claimed that tax affairs had played a role in their decision. Sources told The Sun that as Meghan remains a U.S. citizen and is taxed on her worldwide income, she would have ended up paying in both the U.S. and Canada. Whether or not Harry will have to pay taxes in the U.S. is another matter, and not a straightforward one. It boils down to a fairly complicated formula to calculate how many days he spends in the country during the current year and also the prior two. If over the limit, he would be considered a resident for tax purposes. One way around that would be not to spend more than 121 days a year in the U.S. Using other potential loopholes in the U.S.-UK tax treaty, Harry might be able to remain up to around 150 days a year stateside without being considered a taxable resident. Harry and Meghan have made it clear that they will be seeking to earn their own income now they have left the royal family. But if he does qualify as a resident, he would still have to file a return even without earning any income. Harry would even have to disclose information about his bank account holdings, which means the IRS could potentially get a glimpse of the royals' finances. Tax lawyer Henry Booble told Town & Country last month, "That wouldn't tell you anything else about the rest of the royals' finances except by implication." However, if he were the beneficiary of trusts, where he received distributions from that trust while he was a resident, there'd be some complicated reporting and some complicated tax analysis that would have to be done. Pet relocation. When Harry and Meghan moved from the UK to Canada and then on to California, they had their dogs, Guy the Beagle and Oz the Black Labrador, in tow. The U.S. Public Health Service requires that dogs brought into the country undergo examination to check for evidence of diseases. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warns on its website, all dogs must appear healthy to enter the United States. Guy and Oz certainly looked in tip-top shape in the pictures which emerged last month of Harry and Meghan walking them. Dogs coming from countries deemed to be at high risk for dog rabies require a vaccine certificate. Neither the United Kingdom nor Canada are on the list, but owners coming from those countries must still provide written or oral statements that their dogs lived in a country with low or no risk for at least 6 months or from birth. American bank account. As a newly arrived expat, Harry will need to set up a bank account in the U.S. to help him create a financial identity. By setting up a checking account, he will be able to receive income in U.S. dollars, use online banking and bill pay, and build up a U.S. credit history. Many U.S. banks require high balances for foreign national looking to secure an account and issue a bank card. Given Harry's background and earning potential alongside Meghan, that shouldn't be a problem. Health insurance. As a member of the royal family, Harry has grown up being cared for by the medical household. The team of physicians and specialists is on hand around the clock to attend to all of the family and their staff's healthcare needs. Since he married Meghan, however, the couple followed their own path when it comes to health, including a snub for private maternity wing of London St Mary's Hospital, where royal births had become something of a tradition. Now he has branched out on his own in the U.S. Harry is required to take out insurance like any other resident. And even though he and Meghan are still not working, they are still thought to have the means to access the best care money can buy. In California, top plans can cost tens of thousands of dollars a year, with the very best nudging towards the $100,000 mark.